1. And a timeout taken here by Cameron Andrew with his team trailing by 3 in the early stages of this second set. So after the Falcons took the first set by a 11-point margin, they're off to a good start here in this second set. And Elmhurst doesn't seem to have much of an answer for the block. Noel Smith with 3 blocks so far in the match. As a team, 3 blocks for Concordia, 1 for Elmhurst thus far. Hitting percentage is at .267 for Concordia, just .048 for the Blue Jays. Elmhurst just hasn't really been able to go on a run thus far. It's been a 4-0 run here for Concordia, and we saw multiple extended runs for the Falcons in that first set. Ashley Hobermel will serve. See how the Blue Jays respond coming out of the timeout. Temple for Belfield, and that's quite the response out of the timeout. Paige Belfield, the freshman, with a big swing. Second kill of the night for Belfield, as Alexis Casey will go back to serve. Blue Jays down by 2. Aidsman for Prayfrock, had it blocked. And the point to Elmhurst. Looked like a double hit there. So the violation gives the point to Elmhurst. 2 straight points coming out of the timeout called by Cameron Andrew. Alexis Casey, that was a rocket of a serve. Prayfrock, good job getting it up by Potasic. Now Larson off of the block, kept alive for the Falcons. Obermel, Potasic is there for Belfield again. Oh, what a job to keep this one alive by Hobermel. Back to the outside, and not much you can do with that. Blair Johnson evens the score at 4. 3 straight points out of that timeout. Certainly seems to have made a difference. And Casey nearly with an ace. What a job by Prayfrock to get to that one past the bench. Belfield, soft touch, tapped over by Smith. For Johnson, oh, Blair Johnson, back-to-back kills, smoking that one cross court. And the Blue Jays in front 5-4, 4 straight points out of the timeout by Cameron Andrew. Casey on the serve. Obermill handles for Luntz. Now Prayfrock, soft touch. Casey gets it up there for Belfield. Off of the block where Aitzman gets it up. Now in the middle, Larson blocked by Smith again. No surprise, it's Noel Smith ending the run with yet another block. 4th of the night for Noel Smith. 5-all here in the second set. Brianna Lunt to serve. Temple. Got it to Belfield. Lunt tracks it down. Prayfrock. Handled by Casey in the back to Belfield. Cross court attempt. Handled there by Lunt, and that is just in. Olivia Eibling with the kill. 6-5, Concordia ahead. So it was tight early in set 1, and then Concordia went on a big run, 4 straight aces. And violation going against Concordia there. Double hit, point to the Blue Jays. Aitzman keeps it alive for Eibling, off of the tape, but out. Blue Jays back in front, 7-6 here in this second set. See if Blair Johnson can start a run here. Aitzman, and that is a good response by Concordia. Paige Stickney picks up the kill for the Falcons. 7-all here in the second set. Emily Dickman back to serve. Prayfrock, good up there by Potasic. Now Belfield had it blocked at the net. Or it may have just went into the net. Yeah, it looks like it just went into the net there. Dickman on the serve. Temple to Belfield. Nice job there by Lunt. Mulder gets it over, across the tape. And Mulder going up, but that is out. And the point to Elmhurst. And it was a block, I should say, on that prior point. Kayla Mulder, Paige Stickney credited with the block. 8-all here in the second set. And that's into the net. Point to Elmhurst, 9-8, the Blue Jays in front. Belfield to serve. And in the middle, just in. Point to Concordia. Kayla Mulder with the kill, 9-all. Mulder with her second kill of the night. Temple for Clardy. Lunt able to get to it. Nice job flying in there by Casey. Good digs on both sides, but eventually the point goes to Concordia. Paige Stickney, 10-9, the Falcons in front. Abby Prayfrock to serve. Temple to Larson, that's in, just inside the tape. Keely Larson going down the line off of a really nice back set from Freddie Temple. Temple with 13 assists thus far. And that's into the net. Service error will give it to Concordia, 11-10. Falcons in front. Stickney to serve. Joust at the net. Temple across for Clardy. Big time swing for the sophomore from San Diego. Evens at 11. Freddie Temple's sets have been absolutely on point. 14th assist. And she's back to serve. Obermel, that goes out. It was off of the block, but unfortunately for the Blue Jays, out of play, a 12-11. Concordia, Wisconsin with the lead as McKenna Aitzman goes back to serve. Fitting that she wears number 8 with how her name is pronounced. It's not spelled that way. Aitzman sets up Eibling. Blair Johnson. Cross, Lunt, goes for Hobermel. Now Casey to Clardy. Off of the block, Aitzman kept it alive. Rather, Lunt. Now Casey tracks it down. What a rally here. Temple had to get it over. Aitzman in the middle for Smith. Good up by Casey. Now Johnson across the tape. Eitzman goes back for Hobermel, and that puts an end to the long rally. 13-11, Concordia ahead by 2. That is back-to-back kills from Hobermel. And at the net, that goes out of play. Point to Elmhurst. Ashley Hobermel with 7 kills thus far. 13-12. 1 point of separation here in the second set as Alexis Casey goes back to serve. A little discussion here. Looks like they're going to retry this serve. Or maybe not. Well, no, the point went to Concordia, so it is 14-12. Eitzman, and that just goes long, the point to the Blue Jays. 14-13, Elmhurst trailing by 1. Casey to serve. And an ace. First ace of the night for Elmhurst. Ties up the second set, 14-all. Near the net, and that is too easy for Paige Belfield, 15-14. The Blue Jays go back in front. Belfield with her 4th kill. 3rd most on the team for the Blue Jays tonight. Temple to Belfield again, finds the open space. 16-14 Elmhurst. It's a 4-0 run for the Blue Jays. Casey with another good serve. Line drive there. Prayfrock off the block. Casey, a good pass, looking for Belfield again. Eitzman gets it up for Lunt. Now Prayfrock across the court. What a dig by Casey. Eitzman in the middle for Smith, and the point goes to Concordia. You can see a lot of work to be done, but Elmhurst playing a lot better volleyball here in set number 2 after they fell 25-14 the first set. Larson at the net, and that is an easy put away for Paige Stickney. 16-all. Temple, Belfield again. Obermel's there in the back row. Now Prayfrock across the court. And Abby Prayfrock with another kill. That's her 2nd of the night. 17-16. We've gone back and forth here in the second set. Cameron Andrew taking a timeout. The Blue Jays down a point. That is the final timeout for Coach Andrew here in the second set. Concordia still with both timeouts remaining for their head coach, Carly Whaling. What a second set this has been. 3-0 run right now for Concordia. We've seen both teams go back and forth throughout this second. Statistics starting to even out a little bit more. Hitting percentage for Concordia, 241. Elmhurst at 145. There was a much larger disparity after the first set. Side-out percentage, 61% for Concordia, just under 44% for the Blue Jays. One big area that has been a difference in this matchup so far, 5 blocks for Concordia, Wisconsin, just 1 for Elmhurst. Anna Lunt back to serve. Belfield gets it up for Temple. Now Johnson off of the block. Smart play to get the point for the Blue Jays. Saw the opportunity was there with that block going up. Just using the block to her advantage. 17 all. Johnson on the serve. Eitzman goes back for Eibling. Handled there by Potasic. Larson. Casey. Temple. Up for Belfield and the kill. The freshman showing the power once again. 6th kill of the night for Paige Belfield, and Elmhurst back in front, 18-17. Johnson. Eitzman for Eibling. Casey got it up into the rafters. Potasic finds it. Temple has to push it over. That's still a live ball as Stickney, though, responds with a big-time swing. Paige Stickney, 18 all. Third kill for Stickney as Emily Dickman back to serve. We saw how dangerous she can be on the service line in the first set. Johnson. Now Belfield has to get it over. Dickman goes back for Stickney. What a job by Casey to get that one up. Now Prayfrock, soft touch. Temple. Good job in the back row there. As Prayfrock, Casey with another great dig. Larson. Handled again by Hobermel. Blocked but out. What a rally that was. 19-18. Concordia goes back in front as eventually was Kayla Mulder. Came away with the point. 1 point edge for the Falcons. Temple. Belfield with the kill. Paige Belfield with her 7th of the night. That leads the Blue Jays 19 all. What a second set this has been. After Concordia really controlled the first. Dickman goes for Prayfrock. That's out. And the point to the Blue Jays. 20-19. Haven't seen Coach Whaling use a timeout to this point. She may do it here if Elmhurst comes away with the point. Dickman in the middle for Mulder with the kill. We're tied at 20. Kayla Mulder with her 4th of the night. 20 all here in the second set. This is really critical for the Blue Jays. Do not want to go down 2-0 here on their home floor. Prayfrock to serve. Casey can't quite handle it. It's an ace at a terrible time for the Blue Jays. 6th ace of the night for the Falcons. Have to give credit to the job this team has done on the service line. 6 aces, no errors. Clardy. Casey has to bump it over. Dickman in the back. Mulder blocked by Larson. Kept alive though. And the point goes to Concordia. What a resilient job done by Concordia there after it looked like surely the Blue Jays had the point. But Abby Prayfrock, it was eventually Paige Stickney who came away with the kill. Now Temple back for Clardy. Dickman dumps it over and gets the point, 23-20. And now Concordia 2 points away from taking a 2-0 lead. Prayfrock. Casey gets to it. Temple sets up Larson. And Keely Larson with a much-needed point for the Blue Jays. Elmhurst trailing by 2. Pivotal second set. Lauren Anderson to serve. Dickman to Mulder, and Mulder gives Concordia set point. Kayla Mulder with her 5th kill. So Paige Stickney looking to put Concordia up 2-0. Can the Blue Jays rally here? Casey to Temple. Now Clardy has it blocked, and Concordia takes a 2-0 lead. They take the second set 25-21 after taking the first set 25-14. We're going to step aside. We'll have the third set coming your way right after this.
Most of my classes at Triton College, and then I take a class or two at Elmhurst to kind of get a feel of like what I want my plan to be when I come here, and get a feel of the whole campus with clubs and activities and everything. I think the major difference between the two is that Elmhurst really is a community sense, while as the two-year university, you're really preparing to move on. So those professors are really striving to teach you everything that they can within the short period that they have you, while as in a four-year university, they have you for a little bit longer, so they can really develop like a relationship with you and like help you grow as a person. It's awesome to be able to feel at home at a four-year university before you fully commit.
Welcome back to the campus of Elmhurst University. The Blue Jays down 2-0 to Concordia University, Wisconsin, as we enter the third set. Connor Klingen with you alongside our cameraman, producer Gabriel Martin. Doing a great job here tonight. So the Blue Jays will need a reverse sweep come away with the win tonight. That second set was right there. It was 20-all. But Concordia ended up taking it 25-21. Hitting percentage 260 for the Falcons compared to 165 for the Blue Jays. 6 blocks for Concordia, only 1 for Elmhurst. 6 aces for Concordia, just 1 for the Blue Jays. So that's 2 areas that have really been dominated by CUW. Eitzman will serve to get the third set underway. Temple to Johnson, had it blocked. Potasic is there to back it up. And then Belfield, but that goes out. And the point to Concordia to start the third set. McKenna Eitzman will go back to serve. Off of the tape, handled though by Casey. Over for Belfield, and she gets the kill. Paige Belfield with her 8th of the night. Alexis Casey back to serve. I think the second set was more indicative of the matchup between these two teams. So here's Belfield. Diving effort on the dig there by Eitzman. Casey gets it up for the Blue Jays. Now Johnson. Pops it over in the middle. Smith, and the point to Concordia. Noelle Smith in the middle along with Paige Stickney. That's the dynamic duo for Concordia. Both have done some damage tonight. As Ashley Hobermel goes back to serve. She really dominated the first set, but a service error first of the night for Concordia. They had to figure one was coming at some point. It's a break for Elmhurst. The Blue Jays will take it. Blair Johnson back to serve, and a service error right back the other way. That is a tough one early on this third set. As Aubrey LeClaire comes on for the Blue Jays. Temple. Mulder had it blocked at the net. Belfield and Larson both going up. And it'll be Paige Belfield back to serve for the Blue Jays. 3-all here in the third set. Eitzman in the middle. Larson got a piece of it. Back row from Hobermel. Belfield was right there. Casey bumps it over. Now Prayfrock. Good job by Belfield to get that one up, and a cross-court kill for the Blue Jays. I think that was Leah Russell. It's her 18th kill of the year. Coming on here in this third set. In the middle, that goes out. Point to Elmhurst, 5-3. Blue Jays in front here in the third set. Lunt able to get to it. Now Temple for Larson. Prayfrock, that's blocked, and the point to the Blue Jays. 6-3. Freddie Temple getting involved there. She is not your typical setter in terms of her ability to come away with kills and also blocks. Getting involved with Keely Larson there, but that goes long. That'll end the 4-0 run for Elmhurst. 6-4 here in the third set. Emily Dickman back to serve. Russell, that's out. Point to Concordia, 6-5. Stickman will serve once again. Belfield handles, Temple to Larson, out of play, and the point to the Blue Jays. Keely Larson will serve with the Blue Jays leading 7-5. Off of the tape. Temple for Russell, and the freshman with another kill. Leah Russell with her second kill here in this third set. And that's into the net, the point to Concordia. Abby Prayfrock will serve, 8-6. Elmhurst leads. Really good serve. LeClaire got to it for a moment, but another ace. That is the 7th of the night for Concordia. Prayfrock, deep serve there. Russell with the softer touch. Now from the back row, Prayfrock off of the tape. Casey gets to it. They set up Russell again, and Leah Russell, what a difference she's made in the third set. Third kill in set number 3 for Russell, the freshman out of Olaf, Kansas, just outside of Kansas City. Ready Temple to serve now. Obermel gets it over. Russell again, Leah Russell. Back-to-back kills. Her 4th, and all 4 have come in the third set. And a timeout called by Carly Whaling, with Elmhurst leading 10-7 in this third set. Well, Cameron Andrew brought on Leah Russell, and she has made a big difference. We didn't see her in the first 2 sets, but 4 kills on 6 attempts in this third set. Paige Belfield and Keely Larson leading the way, each with 8 kills for the Blue Jays. Claire Johnson also with 6 kills tonight. Blocks have started to become a little bit more even. 6-3, that's in favor of Concordia. 25 assists tonight for Freddie Temple. Also 8 digs for Temple. Alexis Casey has 17 digs for the Blue Jays. She has been flying all around the floor. McKenna Eitzman leads the way for Concordia with 13 digs. It'll be Freddie Temple to serve, coming out of the timeout for the Falcons. Temple with a deep serve. Now in the middle, it's Stickney. That goes long. 11-7, a 4-point edge for Elmhurst. Blue Jays, again, they were right there in that second set. And that's always such a turning point when you're down 1-0. Good serve by Temple and an ace. 12-7. 4-0 run for the Blue Jays. Second ace of the night for Elmhurst. And that goes long, a service error. Back to CUW to serve. Paige Stickney. Temple, Russell trying to get to it, but it lands on the Blue Jays side. The point to Concordia, 12-9. 2 straight points for the Falcons. Here's Stickney's serve. Casey unable to handle it. An ace again. 8th of the night for Concordia, Wisconsin. That has been a big difference. Another strong serve. Belfield took it this time in the middle cross. Good dig to get it up initially, but the point to the Blue Jays. Prayfrock made a good effort to even get to that one. But the Blue Jays back ahead by 3, ending a 3-0 run for Concordia, as now Gianna Potasic back to serve. And that's long, another service error. That is the 9th for Elmhurst. Just 1 for Concordia, Wisconsin. That is another area. The service, just a huge disparity when you look at 8 aces for Concordia, 9 errors for the Blue Jays. Johnson pokes it over. Eitzman for Hobermel. Good job to get it up there by Belfield. Lunt for Hobermel, and the point to Concordia, 13-12. The Falcons within 1. Temple for Johnson, blocked but out of bounds, and the point to Elmhurst. 14-12. Blue Jays back up by 2 here in the 3rd set. Alexis Casey to serve. Hobermel, way too much on it there. 15-12. Elmhurst 10 points away from sending this to a 4th set. They need the reverse sweep tonight to come away with a win over Concordia. Eitzman in the middle. Casey with another good dig. And Belfield, but that goes out on the cross-court kill attempt. And now Ashley Hobermel will go back to serve. 8 kills tonight for Hobermel. That leads the way for Concordia. Temple in the middle, Larson had it blocked. Now they go to Johnson off of the net, and an attacking error. The point to Concordia, 15-14. Unfortunately for the Blue Jays, just some unforced errors tonight. Temple, Belfield with a little poke over. Lunt per Prayfrock. Casey is there with the dig. And Johnson, good response on the other side. Prayfrock again. Casey again. And the point, Paige Belfield, her 9th kill. Going off of the block, 16-14. Aubrey LeClaire back to serve. Freshman from Wisconsin. And an ace for LeClaire. 17-14. High serve, it goes out. Too much on that one, so an ace, but then a service error, the 10th of the night. That has unfortunately been an issue for this Elmhurst team during the season. Eitzman in the middle, that's out. Point to the Blue Jays. Seen some miscues on both sides here in this 3rd set. Attacking error there by Paige Stickney. Third error of the night for Stickney. Prayfrock. And that's into the net. Another attacking error. Blue Jays will certainly take it, 19-15. And Carly Whaling will take a timeout, a 4-point edge for the Blue Jays in this third set. And now with some of those attacking errors, Elmhurst ahead in this match in terms of hitting percentage. The Blue Jays at 159, Concordia 147. Elmhurst also with 33 kills compared to 30 for Concordia. Look at this match. The big difference has just been that service line. And also the blocks somewhat, but you have 8 aces for Concordia, 10 service errors for Elmhurst. So that is 18 points of difference. That is a huge chunk of points on the service line. Hopefully the Blue Jays can turn that around the rest of the way in this third set, and hopefully in a fourth and fifth set to come. Paige Belfield to serve. Aidsman. Oh, wow. Paige Stickney just slamming it down in transition. Really good attack out of the timeout. Emily Dickman now back to serve. Larson down the line, off of the basketball hoop. Stickney tried to keep it alive. Watch out into the bleachers. The point to Elmhurst, 20-16. So the Blue Jays now 5 points away from forcing a fourth set. Larson to serve. Off of the tape. Dickman in the middle, that is long. Point to the Blue Jays, 21-16. Larson, too much on it. 11th service error tonight, 21-17. Concordia still hanging around in this third set. They would love to get the sweep on the road. Blue Jays need 4 points to get it to a fourth set. Temple on the back row, Belfield. Now Lunt sets up Hobermel. Belfield is there. Temple had it punched back. Now goes to the middle. Cross, she had it blocked. Temple keeps it alive. Now Stickney, that's long. No, it was touched by the Blue Jays. Point to Concordia. And that could be a big swing here in this third set, 21-18 now. Abby Prayfrock, and timeout called. It's called by Cameron Andrew. He has 1 timeout remaining. Carly Whaling has used both for Concordia here in the third set. It's a 21-18 edge for Elmhurst. They fell in the first set 25-14. In the second set 25-21, but that second set was 20-20. These are two pretty evenly matched teams when you look at the records and some of the performance against similar opponents. And the last 2 sets, I think, have been more indicative of where these two teams are at. A little surprising to see Concordia have that 11-set win in the first set, but Just some miscues, and the Blue Jays have done a good job bouncing back here. Although they fell in that second set, really played a lot better from the second set on. But Concordia will have the serve coming out of the timeout, 21-18. Abby Prayfrock continues at the service line. Belfield handles the serve. Russell. And it looked like into the net there. Point will go to Concordia. The Falcons now trailing by just 2. Prayfrock. Soft touch over from Belfield. Now Stickney. And that is out. Point to Elmhurst, 22-19. Freddie Temple to serve. The Blue Jays 3 points away from taking this to a 4th set. A rocket of a serve from Temple. And that's out. Obermel with the attacking air, 23-19. Blue Jays 2 points away from taking their first set tonight. Temple continues. That's long. 23-20. 12th service error for the Blue Jays, and that goes along with 8 aces for Concordia. Now Stickney, a service error right back, and that gives the Blue Jays set point. 24-20, and Elmhurst needs just 1 point to send it to the 4th set. It'll be Gianna Potasic back to serve. Free ball over. Casey with a great job to get it up there. And Belfield to the back row. Prayfrock was there. Temple in the middle. That's long. Point to Concordia. Still life for the Falcons, 24-21. What has been a tightly played 3rd set. McKenna Eitzman to serve. Temple to Johnson. Luntz. Obermel with the kill, 24-22. And a timeout called by Cameron Andrew. As the Blue Jays just need 1 to close it out, but 2 straight points here from Concordia keeping them alive to sweep here tonight. Blue Jays certainly don't want that to happen here on their home floor. Elmhurst coming off of that 3 sets to 1 victory over St. Mary's this past weekend in non-conference play. Fortunately, were swept in their last 2 CCIW matchups, both of those on the road. The Blue Jays have it in him tonight. Come away with the reverse sweep. Concordia will have the serve coming out of the timeout. And it will be McKenna Eitzman continuing. Eitzman nearly an ace. What a job to keep that alive by Potasic. Obermel with another kill. That is her 11th of the night, and now Concordia with one more point could force this third set to go beyond 25. Temple for Johnson. That's out, and Elmhurst takes the third set, 25-23. It didn't come easily, but Elmhurst forces a fourth set. And we will go to the fourth set with the Blue Jays trailing 2-1. We're going to take a break. Set number 4 coming your way right after this.
Have a lot of family support that helps me balance school, the kids, work. A lot of people have said to me, Victoria, I don't know how you do it. It's crazy going back to school now. Why? You already have a company, you're already working. Why would you do that to yourself? I said Elmhurst is a great place to start off, even at my age, to come back to. The MBA program, the price of it is affordable. The location is very convenient. The teachers are phenomenal. I can't ask for a better school to go to. Once I graduate, it'll get back to normal and it'll be a lot easier, but it's well worth it.
Welcome back to R.A. Fagenal Hall. Elmhurst trailing 2-1. Concordia, Wisconsin took the first set 25-14, the second set 25-21, but the Blue Jays came back to win the third set 25-23. So can they win this fourth set, force a deciding fifth set, potentially come away with the reverse sweep tonight? Really good effort by this Elmhurst team in set number 3. Took advantage as well from some attacking errors coming from Concordia. They have had 19 tonight. The hitting percentage for the Falcons, 151, Elmhurst 158. Blue Jays will have the first serve here in the fourth set. Gianna Potasic. And a big key here in set number 4. Avoiding some of the service errors. There have been 12 tonight for the Blue Jays. Tasic with a good first serve. Temple sets up Belfield. Pushed over by Eitzman, but Potasic is there in the back corner. Now Blair Johnson with a big swing. What a job by Prayfrock to get to it. Eitzman puts it over. All the way into the Concordia bench, and then a block at the net. No, the point going to Elmhurst. And it'll be another kill for Paige Belfield, her 10th of the night. Belfield leading the way for the Blue Jays. Potasic. Eitzman. Smith had it blocked. Out of bounds. Point goes to Elmhurst. Double hit there for Concordia. 2-0. Good start to the fourth set for the Blue Jays. Potasic. Strong serve. Prayfrock had to lay all the way out to get to it. Now Temple. Soft touch there. Pancake dig by Freddie Temple. Out across the court with the strong kill there. It was Hobermel once again. She picks up the first point here in the fourth set for Concordia. Hobermel with 12 kills. That leads everybody on the floor tonight. Eitzman, now Hobermel from the back row. Handled by Casey. Go for Prayfrock off of the block with the kill. Third of the night for Abby Prayfrock. We're tied at 2 here in the fourth set. Temple is back for Johnson. Hobermel's there. Prayfrock again. There's Casey with an incredible dig. Now Belfield off the block, kept alive by Prayfrock. She's been flying all over, but point goes to Concordia. Is that one outside the antenna? 3 straight points for the Falcons after Elmhurst opened up this fourth set with a 2-0 lead. Hobermel back to serve. Temple sets up Johnson. Now Eibling, that's out. But it was touched by Elmhurst. Point to Concordia, and it's now a 4-0 run for the Falcons. Hobermel to serve. Here's Eitzman. Now Johnson. And the kill from Olivia Eibling. That is now 5 straight for Concordia. Seventh kill for Eibling. What a good response from the Blue Jays as Blair Johnson on that opposite side, picking up the kill for Elmhurst as Alexis Casey will go to serve. Hobermel gets it up for Eibling off of the block, and another kill for Olivia Eibling. Potasic handles the serve. Temple to Johnson, who just pushed it over. Eitzman is there going diving. Good dig by Potasic on the other side. Oh, there's Hobermel again. Now Prayfrock with the kill. That was all set up by the dig from Ashley Hobermel. An incredible effort, 7-3. Concordia on a 7-1 run since it was 2-0 Elmhurst to open up the fourth set. Blair Johnson It seems like every time Elmhurst needs a point, Blair Johnson is the player to come through with it. 10th kill of the night for Johnson. She joins Paige Belfield as the two Elmhurst players with 10 or more kills. Aubrey LeClaire on the serve for the Blue Jays. Stickney, and that goes out. Point Blue Jays. Brayfrock had it blocked. This time goes over the block. And Temple slams it home. Freddie Temple with the kill. Second of the night. Blue Jays back within a point. It's been a 3-0 run for Elmhurst. Aitzman for Eibling. Now Temple sets up Belfield. That is in, and the freshman with her 11th kill of the night to tie it at 7 in this fourth set. Aubrey LeClaire looking to keep a 4-0 run going. Casey for the freshman Belfield again. Now Aitzman with a dump over. Casey was all over it. Larson just poked it over. Now Aitzman in the middle. Casey trying to keep it alive, but the point to Concordia. 8-7. Falcons ahead off of that kill. Coming from Paige Stickney. Emily Dickman back to serve. And an ace. That is her 5th ace of the night. She had 4 in the first set consecutively. That one right there makes it 9-7 Concordia here in the fourth set. Temple. Dickman with the little dump over Emily Dickman. 2 straight points for her. Smart play by Dickman. 10-7 Concordia in front. Belfield handled there and then pushed over by Paige Stickney. 11-7, and now a 4-0 run for Concordia. Cameron Andrew will take his first time out of the fourth set, with the Blue Jays trailing by 4. Paige Stickney now with 7 kills. She's making her presence felt, particularly here in this fourth set. It's Ashley Hobermel leading the way with 12 kills. In terms of the assists tonight, McKenna Aitzman has 21. On the other side for Elmhurst, Freddie Temple with 34. That is her 8th straight match with at least 30 assists. Temple has been very consistent, coming off a career-high 50 assists against St. Mary's. Impressing again here tonight, but the issue for the Blue Jays has been that service game. You have 9 aces for Concordia, just 3 for Elmhurst, and then you have 12 service errors for the Blue Jays compared to 2 for Concordia. Alexis Casey, 24 digs tonight. That leads everybody in terms of digs. 430 digs on the season now for Casey. As it's Dickman back to serve. And that will be an ace again for Emily Dickman. 6th of the night. 12-7. Temple for Larson. Block got a touch on it. Dickman sets it up in the middle for Stickney, who powers it down. Paige Stickney with 8 kills tonight, 13-7 Concordia. And the Blue Jays really need to dig deep here, trailing by 6, trailing 2-1. Can the Blue Jays go on a run? You'd assume Cameron Andrew wants to preserve his one timeout a little bit longer. Dickman on the serve. Casey handles it. Now Belfield just bumps it over. Set up Prayfrock. Had it blocked, but Dickman's there. Now Prayfrock. Here's Larson off of the block. Good rally here. In the middle, Stickney, diving effort by Casey, a pancake dig for her 25th of the night. But the point will go to Concordia. It was an outstanding effort by Elmhurst on that point, but unfortunately, the Falcons pick it up. It has been a 7-0 run for Concordia. That is with Dickman on the service line. Dickman, that goes long, off of the hand of Caleb Mulder. So the Blue Jays finally get a side out. Leah Russell comes back on. Diving effort there by LeClaire. Russell. And a violation going against Concordia. Point to the Blue Jays. Belfield on the serve. Lunt has to play it over. Temple goes to Russell, and Leah Russell with another kill. 5th of the night. 14-10. And an ace. Paige Belfield with the ace. 4th of the night for the Blue Jays. Now trailing by 3, 14-11. Dickman for Stickney. Now Temple sets it up for Russell. Lunt is there. They go back to Mulder. LeClaire able to dig it up. Now Russell into the net. And the point goes to Concordia. 15-11. Four-point advantage for the Falcons. Keely Larson, much needed point for the Blue Jays. Didn't want to have another long run at the service line for Concordia. And now Larson will go back to serve with Elmhurst trailing by 3 here in the 4th set. Blue Jays trail 2-1. Dickman puts it up for Mulder. It's a free ball over for Concordia. Mulder once again. And the point to the Falcons. Kayla Mulder with her 6th kill, 16-12. Concordia with Wisconsin with the lead. Paige Stickney back to serve now. Deep into that back corner. Belfield near the back line. Mulder has to just bump it over. The Blue Jays can't handle it. Goes outside the antenna. 17-12 Concordia. Fortunately, been some of those uncharacteristic mistakes for Elmhurst tonight. Temple goes to cross, blocked but out of bounds, and point to the Blue Jays. 17-13. Freddie Temple back to serve with Elmhurst down 4 points, trying to force a 5th set. Dickman to Mulder, and that is just barely in. Point to Concordia. Kayla Mulder with her 8th kill. Mulder with a .400 hitting percentage tonight. That leads the way, at least on players with more than 10 attempts. She's 8 for 15. Aitzman in the middle for Smith. Brayfrock keeps it alive. Lunt had to get it over. Aitzman. Casey is there. Now Russell, and Leah Russell swings it home. 5th kill of the night for Russell. As Gianna Potasic coming back on to serve. Blue Jays trailing by 4 points. A little miscommunication. That gives a free ball to Elmhurst, and Blair Johnson takes advantage. 11th kill, and the Blue Jays within 3. Can Elmhurst go on a run here? Line drive serve from Potasic. Oh, what a job by Lunt to keep that alive, nearly into the bleachers. Now Johnson, soft touch over. Aitzman in the middle. Smith, Casey with a good dig. Now here is Belfield. Pokes it over. Aitzman backs it up for Eibling. Eibling again, just pushes it over. Belfield, the freshman. Lunt in the area there. What a rally. Now Casey sets up Johnson. Brayfrock in the back row. And finally, the long rally comes to an end. Ashley Hobermel, no surprise, she comes away with the kill. 13th of the night for number 13, Ashley Hobermel. And it is 19-15 Concordia. Cross-court kill attempt, kept alive by Belfield. Now Aitzman goes for Brayfrock, and Brayfrock comes away with the point, 20-15. And now Cameron Andrew will use that final timeout here in the 4th set. With the Blue Jays down by 5. Elmhurst in desperate need of a rally. Down 5 points. Unfortunately tonight, the Blue Jays haven't had much of an answer for Ashley Hobermel. 13 kills for Hobermel. But Paige Stickney and also Kayla Mulder have been really effective, as well as Olivia Eibling. Stickney, Mulder, and Eibling each with 8 kills for Concordia. For Elmhurst, Paige Belfield leads the way with 12 kills tonight. Blair Johnson with 11. Keely Larson, 9 kills. Leah Russell has 5. (20-15). Can Elmhurst find a way to come back and force a decisive 5th set? Ashley Hobermel to serve for Concordia. Belfield kept alive. Prayfrock gets it over. Temple for Belfield. Oh, big time power coming from the freshman. Her 13th kill, 20-16. Now Alexis Casey to serve. Eitzman to the opposite side. Prayfrock off of the tape. Blue Jays have to get it over. Now Eitzman back to Prayfrock. Had it blocked. Kept alive though. Hobermel. Casey near the net. Larson pushed it over. Now Smith off of the tape. Another extended rally here. Eye bling, that's long. Wanted a touch, but it was clean. The Blue Jays did not get a hand on it. They're within 3. 2 straight points for Elmhurst. Rallying late in this 4th set. Casey down the line on the serve. Larson off of the block. Lunt gets it over Prayfrock. Casey the other way. Eitzman sets up Eibling, blocked but out of bounds at the point to Concordia, 21-17. Brianna Lunt will go back to serve with Concordia leading by 4 here in this 4th set. Belfield, soft touch. And that did hit the hardwood. Point to Elmhurst, 21-18. Aubrey LeClaire to serve. Eitzman, Stickney in the middle. Now Casey goes over for Belfield, and Belfield with another kill. 15th of the night. That ties a career high for Paige Belfield. But more importantly, pulls Elmhurst within 2. Aubrey LeClaire on the serve. Eitzman for Eibling, and she's just able to beat the block as that rolls on the tape. On the other side, 22-19. 3-point advantage for Concordia. And they've got Emily Dickman to serve, who has been outstanding at the service line tonight. 5 aces. Casey. Now Prayfrock. Temple able to get to it. Belfield just pushed it over. That's into the net. Everything is working tonight for Paige Belfield. And it is now 22-20, 16th kill for Belfield. That is a new standalone career high for the freshman out of Woodbury, Minnesota. Dickman in the middle, that's long. And Elmhurst is within a point. What a job by the Blue Jays battling here late in this 4th set. And they've got a chance to tie it at 22 with Belfield to serve. Dickman for Stickney. Blue Jays somehow got it over there. Now Prayfrock had it blocked, but it goes out of bounds. Larson going up there with Temple, but the point to Concordia. They lead 23-21 in this 4th set, and they've got a 2-1 advantage. Prayfrock to serve. Temple for Russell, and Leah Russell, the freshman, steps up once again. 6th kill for Russell, and the Blue Jays back within a point. Keely Larson to serve. Can Elmhurst force a 5th set on their home floor? Larson into the net, and that gives Concordia match point. Paige Stickney serving on match point here for Concordia. Temple for Russell into the net, and Concordia takes it. They win the fourth set 25-22, and they win the match tonight 3-1. They took the first set 25-14, the second 25-21. Elmhurst took the third 25-23. Concordia takes the fourth set 25-22. We're going to have a little bit more to come on some post-game coverage here from RA Fagenal Hall, but Elmhurst falls 3-1 to Concordia. We've got some more post-game coverage coming your way right after this.
Well, you made it. Pause for a minute and think about all that you've done to get to this point. I'm delighted to officially welcome you to our 2024 New Student Convocation to Elmhurst University and to the ever-widening circle that includes the students, faculty, staff, and alumni of this great institution.
Welcome back to RA Fagenal Hall here at Elmhurst. The Blue Jays fall in this one 3-1, but we're now joined by head coach Cameron Andrew. And Coach, obviously a tough result tonight, but it seemed like your team really battled down 2-0, and they were right there nearly forcing that fifth set.
Yeah, that set one was a little bit of a, we said flush it right away. It was not pretty all the way around, and three really competitive sets the rest of the way. What we've continued to sort of struggle with is we can get ourselves close, and finding those last couple points at the end has been a little bit of our Achilles heel, and it kind of got us again tonight. It was good to see us figure out how to make that happen in set three. That there have been times where we've been up 24-20 and not been able to close, but we were able to close one there. And just some opportunities in 2 and 3, I think, at the end that we let get away that, if we can get them to go our way, I think makes a little bit of a difference.
Paige Belfield really stood out tonight. 16 kills for her career high. How impressed have you been by her play as a freshman?
Yeah, she's been great. Another double-double with 11 digs, too, is a great performance from her. We've been saying that we need players that got a little bit more of that dog in them, and Paige has that she's not going to shy away from a moment. She wants that ball at the end. She wants to make a block. She's going to make good aggressive plays. She's a smart ball player. There was a couple times tonight where I went to make a block adjustment, and Paige page was already like, yep, I was already thinking that, and so, she's doing a really great job for us. So to have a freshman outside that's playing at the level she's playing at is great to have right now, and she's just going to keep getting better. It's like this is the worst version of Paige Belfield we're ever going to see. She's going to continue to get better, and if this is the worst version of her, that's a pretty darn good ball player we have, and she's going to get even, turned into something special.
That's a scary proposition for the rest of the CCIW with how well she's been playing. But Freddie Temple with 41 assists. I believe that's now 8 straight matches with 30 or more and over 40 tonight. And it seemed like her sets were just really on point. She really seemed to have that chemistry going with her teammates. Mm-hmm. What did you see from your setter tonight?
Yeah, Fred did a good job, and we kind of got stronger as the match went on offensively. And it's tough when we put together an offensive set like we did in set 4. They're 14-1 on 45, hitting almost 300 in a set, and to not, find a win is tough. But that means that we're doing some things right offensively, and Freddie's making some good choices. And so, honestly, I think the thing I was most impressed with her tonight was her block. She's been working really, really hard to improve her block in practice and got some productive block touches. I think she actually ended with a stuff block this evening. She did have a stuff block this evening. So, that's an area of her game she recognizes a weakness, and they're super outside heavy, and Fred worked real hard to get some productive block touches for us today. So proud of what she did there.
Leah Russell, she was a player, didn't see in the first 2 sets, but she comes on in the 3rd set, ends the night with 6 kills. How did she provide that kind of spark for you coming in later on?
She was just a little bit of spark. We felt like we needed a little something. Ashley's been great for us all year, had a little bit of a rough match tonight. Those happen, and that's why you carry a good, deep team so that, someone struggles, and Leah can try and help us out a little bit. So she brought a great spark in set 3 to help us, make some plays and, talk about not being afraid to make a swing. We don't want to end on attack errors, but I'd rather her be trying to score for us at the end and make something happen, make them make plays against us. And so to have a player come off the bench as a freshman that hasn't seen a ton of time, again, to bring a little bit of juice is really helpful. And, good to see her do some productive stuff for us tonight.
Well, certainly a tough result, but good battle from your team, and it is a non-conference matchup. So what can you take away from this one moving on the rest of the way?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things. We've just been preaching grit as much as we can, that we've got to learn how to be a little bit of a grittier team. That, again, we've shown tonight that we can get ourselves into positions to win, and then how do we find those last couple of points? We did that once tonight. Of course, we want to do it 3 times, but to make that happen in the 3rd set was huge for us to say, okay, we can do that. We go to Carroll last week, 3 close sets. We're not able to close any of them. 3 close sets here tonight. We get one of them. I call that a step in the right direction. We recognize that the season hasn't gone as smoothly as we wanted, but we know our future is still in our control. 3 conference matches left. We know 4-4 gets us into the tournament. So we just got to take care of business. We know we got the talent, and we just got to figure out where do we find 2 or 3 more points. That's been the recipe that we've been missing a little bit all year, but I think finding a way to make it happen and earn points down the stretch of set 3 was a good step for us.
Some really good battle from this team tonight, and I think something to carry forward the rest of the way. Coach, thanks so much for the time tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
That's head coach Cameron Andrew. Elmhurst falls in this one 3-1 for our producer Gabriel Martin. Connor Klingon saying so long from R.A. Fagnall Hall. Thanks for tuning in tonight, and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.